Looking for a front-wheel drive 3-row family crossover with a premium interior and the availability of the industry's best level 2 hands-free driving assist? Now in its third generation, the GMC Acadia finally feels like a legitimate choice in this large and competitive segment. Why? Because it is now both large and competitive. From one of the largest in the segment to one of the smallest and back again, the GMC Acadia has experienced somewhat of an identity crisis over the years. For Gen 3, it is now almost identical in size to its Chevy sibling, the Traverse. The Traverse is still the largest front-wheel drive crossover in this segment, and the Acadia here is close, but it doesn't quite earn that same title. It's a little bit smaller in both length and width, and interior volume is down just a hair, matching the Toyota Grand Highlander at 97.5 cubic feet. Strangely though, GMC is not planning on offering 8-passenger seating, just 7. As a result, all 3 trim levels, Elevation, AT4, and Denali, come with captain's chairs in the second row and 3 seats in the way back. Oddly, no center console is available even as an option. Space in the third row is dimensionally also very close to the Traverse. According to GM's measurements, you actually get a hair more legroom, but a hair less headroom over that model. It is perfectly usable for me at 5'9", but my knees do feel pretty close to the second row captain's chairs. Luckily, you can slide those forward and backward as needed. Though 3 average-sized adults sitting back here will probably feel cramped in the shoulders. You do get USB ports and air vents to help sweeten the deal though. Back here in the second row, you can get the option of heated captain's chairs. However, unlike Telluride, Palisade, Grand Highlander, and CX-90, you cannot get ventilation back here. And a reminder, you can get heated third row seats in the Hyundai Palisade. And like with the new Traverse, there's a brand new panoramic moonroof, which does open up in the front and only has a small sliver of a bar in the middle, giving you a really open and airy feeling. And luckily, this is available on all 3 trims as either an a la carte option or as part of a package, depending on which trim you're looking at. If you have a Denali trim and you get the Denali Reserve package, you'll get a more premium suspension, nicer 22-inch wheels, and an upgraded Bose 16-speaker audio system. If you get that package on the Denali trim, you're also required to bundle in the Supercruise package, which throws in driver attention assist and enhanced automatic parking. You can get this package on its own and independently of the moonroof. The Acadia already comes with a long list of standard safety features, everything but Supercruise really. Supercruise is actually available on all trims of the Acadia. The least expensive way to get it in an Acadia is with the $47,595 Elevation trim and the trailering package. That package just throws in an extra bit of towing capacity, up to 5,000 pounds, and adds upgraded hardware to better prepare the car for towing, and adds a few towing-specific modes or views to the 360-degree surround view camera system. Just like every other vehicle it is equipped in, Supercruise is poised and unruffled by variables on the open road. It really is a huge selling point for this car and any other car in the GM portfolio that gets it. However, unlike the bigger body-on-frame trucks equipped with it, you can't actually tow while using Supercruise in this, even though we have that trailering package equipped as well. Now, when you find yourself doing all the driving, the Acadia is a very comfortable place to spend time. The ride quality, especially on the Denali trim, is super smooth, very premium, definitely fitting of the professional grade mantra. You actually do get an upgraded suspension system with more advanced damping if you get the 22-inch wheels on the Denali trim, but you also get a similar system that is more off-road focused if you get certain wheels on the AT4 trim like this. But in general, the ride quality here is one of the best you'll find in the 3-row crossover segment. The Acadia ditches its old 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder and 3.6-liter V6 in favor of the same 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder found in the new Traverse. The one thing that doesn't really live up to the professional grade standard in here is the engine note. Just like with the Chevy Traverse, we have that new 2.5 4-cylinder, and it just sounds too much like a Trax or a Trailblazer. It just doesn't make sense in a car that costs nearly $70,000 fully loaded. But the 8-speed automatic is pretty quick to respond, though there is a little bit of hesitancy when you do push it from a stop. It's not exactly going to be lightning quick off the line because of that. So if you're in a high traffic area and you need to get going quickly, you will find that this doesn't do it quite as hastily as some other options out there. But once you're up to speed, it's very, very quiet in here. Again, it's a very smooth ride, and actually the steering is a little bit less heavy at low speeds compared to the Traverse. Out on the open road, it is perfectly weighted for the car that it is. I have no complaints about the steering, and overall, I do think this is one of the more comfortable cars. The seats are very supportive and comfortable, the leather is nice and soft, and yeah, I really have no complaints other than the noise coming from under that hood. One other minor complaint I guess I have is the acceleration. It just doesn't feel quite as brisk as it did in the Traverse. Like, this is obviously a torquey engine, but it doesn't feel quite as torquey as it did in the Traverse. I know there's a little bit of a weight difference involved, but in general, this does not feel anywhere close to the fastest in this segment, even though the power numbers would suggest otherwise. Fuel economy comes in for front-wheel drive models at 20 miles per gallon city, 27 highway, and 23 combined. If you get all-wheel drive, that goes down to 19 city, 24 highway, and 21 combined. The last big thing we need to talk about is the interior. If you thought the materials and design were a little bit subpar in the Traverse for a nearly $60,000 vehicle, then the Acadia here might surprise you in the other direction. This is close to as good as Mazda's CX-90 in terms of design and materials, but that model does have an edge for some more unique choices in color and trim, but this is still a really nice upgrade over the old model. There's an 11-inch digital instrument cluster here and a 15-inch touchscreen that is vertically oriented that runs the company's latest Android Automotive-based software. All of this is standard. The screen may be 2 inches smaller than the Traverse's, but it is no less capable. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay are wireless, and the UI moves with haste. The Google built-in aspect gives you the industry's best voice assistant in the form of Google Assistant. Google Maps also provide guidance, and the Play Store gives you access to even more apps. No, certain Apple proprietary apps will not work on here, but you can connect Waze and other apps to your existing email accounts to make sure they pull in all of your information. GMC tells us that this interior design theme is the first for the brand and others will soon follow, like the upcoming refresh of the Yukon. Things you get in here that you don't in the Traverse? Well, a head-up display is available as part of the luxury package, which also includes acoustic laminated front glass that does help make the cabin a bit more hushed. Otherwise, it really comes down to your preference in styling and how much you can afford. Pricing for the Acadia starts at $43,995, including $1,395 for destination. And if you want to add all-wheel drive to an Elevation or a Denali trim, you tack on $2,000. But the AT4 here has the more advanced torque vectoring twin clutch system as standard equipment. This one's $51,395. If you want to fully load your Acadia, make sure you select the all-wheel drive Denali trim, add the Denali Reserve package, the White Frost Tri-Coat paint, the Supercruise package, and the 22-inch high-gloss black wheels. That one rings in at a whopping $68,405 before any dealer-installed accessories. Is it worth it, though? Well, I do think this is a worthy competitor to the Mazda CX-90 in terms of premiumness, but would you miss that model's plug-in hybrid efficiency? I certainly would.